good evening. Welcome back to Snorewood. The date is a Tuesday in mid-November. I want to say that again. November. Not as a warning, not as a reason to brace yourself, but as an introduction. A proper one, because November in Snorewood is not a diminished thing. It is not the absence of summer or the waiting for winter. It is its own season with its own character. And it has taken me 22 years of paying attention to understand this. And I want to try to give it its due, November. In Snorewood is the color of the old brick on Main Street at 4 in the afternoon when the light is going. It is the smell of the lake when the cold has come all the way up to the surface and there is nothing between you and the deep water anymore. It is the sound of the town when the tourists are 3 months gone and the streets have returned to the people who live here, and the silence between things has weight and warmth rather than absence. November is when Snorewood becomes most purely itself. The time is 7 o'clock. It has been dark since 5:15. This is the thing about November. The dark arrives early, before you've finished with the day, and you have to make a decision about it. You can resist it or you can go with it. The people who have been here long enough have learned to go with it. They close the curtains earlier. They make the tea. They let the evening be the evening. The lake tonight is doing something. I'll let Doug tell you what. But first, I want to tell you about the day, because the day in November is different from the day in summer, and the difference matters. There was no market today. The market closed in late September as always. The Willettes took the booth home and cleaned it and stored it, and Gabrielle logged the final receipts with the same efficiency she brings to everything. And the parking lot behind Town Hall became a parking lot again, and Snorewood exhaled. There was no beach activity. The snack bar closed in October. The Willette booth at the beach, the one they run for the summer season, is a boarded window and a padlock. The sand is clean and empty, and the footprints in it are only from the people who come to walk at the edge of the lake in November, which is a specific type of person and a specific type of walk, and we will get to that. The coffee shops are open, all 11 of them. This is November's gift to the coffee shops. The tourists have gone, but the need for warmth has not. If anything, the need for warmth is more urgent, more specific, more personal in November. In summer, you go to a coffee shop for the coffee. In November, you go for the coffee and the light and the chair and the fact of being somewhere that is not alone. Maureen has been making the chamomile latte since October 1st. She made the first one of the season on October 1st at 9 in the morning, and Danny, who had been waiting for it, said, "There it is." Maureen said nothing. She had made it 11 times before she was satisfied with it, 23 years ago, and she has not changed it since, and on the first day of October, every year it comes back, and it is the same, and something about that sameness is the whole point. Not every good thing should change. Some good things should stay exactly themselves. The time is 7 o'clock. I am in my study. The lamp is on. Outside, the rain that has been threatening since noon has arrived. Not dramatically, just steadily. The November kind. The rain that has decided to stay. The view from my window, the neighbor's wall, is dark and wet and exactly right. I have the notes for Volume 3 open in front of me. The history of the ordinary evenings. It is coming along. Let me take you through this one. Steady ground. Tuesday evening, 7:15. The studio after the 6 o'clock class. The last student has just left, the door closing, the space returning to itself. Priya, Tuesday 6 o'clock class has, as of last week, a waiting list of 13 people. The Tuesday 8 o'clock, which launched in June, is full. The Thursday 6 o'clock is full. There is a Sunday morning class now. She did not mention this to Marcus until she had thought about it for a month and a half, which is faster than the deck, and it has 9 students, including Vera Petrov, who drives in from 3 towns east, where she has been living since October, closer to Nick, closer to this stretch of the lake, for reasons she describes as practical, and which are also other things. The deck is closed for the season. It will reopen in May. The coffee side runs until noon, as always. The sign still says, "We mean noon. We genuinely mean noon. It has never not meant noon." Priya alone, the last mat rolled, the block stacked. Rain on the windows. Priya on the phone with Marcus. 11 students tonight. Franklin brought someone new. A woman from the choir, I think. She had good instincts, bad hamstrings, completely normal.
How are the kids?
She listens, moving through the studio, doing the last of the closing.
She found them where? The shin pads are always in the dryer. Asha knows this. She knows exactly where they are. She's been losing them strategically for 4 years. I'm not coming home to find the shin pads. She knows where they are. Tell her I said the dryer. Tell her I said I know she knows.
She is at the window now, looking out at the rain, the November street below.
It's raining.
She says it the way you say it when you've been watching it from inside and you're glad you're inside.
Marcus, what are you making for dinner?
She listens, and her face changes. Not dramatically, just slightly. The way faces change when someone says the right thing at the right moment.
That's exactly what I wanted. I'll be home in 15 minutes.
She hangs up the studio, the rain, the closed deck, the November dark. She looks at the studio for a moment. The mats, the blocks, the plants that are doing well this year for reasons she attributes to the air quality in the space, and Marcus attributes to him, remembering to water them, both of which are true.
Good day.
Priya turns off the light, and she goes home to whatever Marcus is making for dinner, which she doesn't tell us, but which is, in some fundamental sense, exactly right. Bev's books. 7:30. She closed at 5 today. She closed at 5 because of the rain, which she decided at 4:40 that makes people want to be at home, not in a bookshop, and she was right. And she closed the shop 40 minutes early and has been at home since 6, which is an hour longer at home than she usually gets on a Tuesday, and which she is using correctly. Bev is in her reading chair. The lamp is on. The rain is on the window. She has a cup of tea. Not chamomile, which she drinks responsibly, but without enthusiasm. Tonight, she has a strong breakfast tea that she drinks in the evening sometimes in November when she feels the evening needs a little resistance. She is reading. I asked her what she's reading, and she told me, which still surprises me when she does it. She doesn't always tell. She told me last month that some reading is private, and she still means that, but she told me tonight's book. She's reading Gilead by Marilyn Robinson, the Pulitzer. The one about the old minister in Iowa, writing letters to his young son about what he's learned, knowing he won't be there to tell him in person. The one that is about, among other things, the weight and beauty of ordinary days. The one that is, in Bev's estimation, and Bev's estimation has 26 years of accumulated wisdom behind it, the finest novel written in the 21st century, at least so far. She hasn't put it on the door shelf yet. She's been thinking about when, she told me. It's not a season book. Some books are for seasons. This one is for a specific kind of evening. A November evening when it's raining, and you're in the chair and you have time.
Tonight is the evening. I've been waiting for this evening since October. The reading chair, the rain, the tea.
She reads for a long time. Nobody calls. Nobody knocks. The rain on the window, steady. Bev in the chair, reading about ordinary days.
This is what November is for.
The drowsy bean. 8 o'clock. The Vandermeer sisters have been here since 7. Franklin is at a table in the corner. No papers tonight. He marked everything on Sunday. He told Maureen he always marks on Sundays, so his weekdays are his own, which Maureen considers an excellent system. 3 other tables. The rain. The drowsy bean in November is a different room from the drowsy bean in July. Not different in its bones, the mismatched chairs, the painting, the menu board, Maureen's corner. All of that is the same, but the light is different in November. The light inside is doing something it doesn't have to do in summer, which is to hold the dark back. In summer, the light is just light. In November, the light is an argument. It is saying, here is warm, here is what we have. Maureen turns the lights up slightly in November. She has been doing this for 22 years and has never mentioned it to anyone. But she does it in October as the days shorten. A small adjustment, a fraction, the rheostats she installed in 2009 doing their work. Nobody has noticed it consciously, but they have noticed it in the way of things you feel without locating. They have felt in the bean in November that the warmth is sufficient, that the light is enough. That's Maureen, 22 years of adjusting the lights a fraction, making sure the warmth is sufficient, making sure the light is enough. The bean, Maureen at the counter. Mid-evening, to Danny, who is making something for Franklin without being asked, which she has been doing for months now. She knows his order the way Maureen knows everyone's order. She is becoming Maureen in some respects, which is not a diminishment. It is a continuation.
He marks on Sundays.
I know he told me in September.
So he marks on Sundays, and Tuesday evenings he comes in with nothing.
He just sits.
Right.
She is making a chamomile latte, the regular version, not the May version. The May version is gone for the season, and she does not miss it exactly, because the chamomile latte is what this season needs, and she trusts the seasons.
The chamomile is for being indoors when it's cold outside.
She says it as if reminding herself of its purpose, which she never actually forgets, but which she likes to say to keep it present.
The May one is for when the cold is over. This one is for when the cold is here. 2 different things, both necessary.
She finishes the latte and looks at it, at the surface of the milk, the particular color of the chamomile coming through.
It's good this year. It's always good, but it's especially right this year. Do you know why?
No, why?
Because I haven't touched the recipe. Because I wrote it down, and I read it back every October, and I make it exactly as written, and I do not change it. Your mother has a recipe like that, or your grandmother. Everyone has one.
She sets the latte on the counter for Franklin.
Something that should not be touched. Something that is finished. Something that is exactly itself. You find those things. You protect them. You make them the same way every time. The rest you can improvise. The May drink, the storm drink, the things I'm still figuring out. Those can change. They should change. They're not done yet, but some things are done, and done is good. Done is a gift. Give that to Franklin. Tell him it's on me tonight.
Why on you tonight?
Because it's November, and he came out in the rain to sit somewhere that isn't alone. That deserves a latte.
Danny brought Franklin the latte. He looked up from nothing. He was sitting with nothing, just the window and the November rain, which is the correct way to spend a Tuesday in November in a coffee shop. And he said, "Maureen, I can't." And Danny said, "She says you can." And Franklin sat with the latte in the mismatched chair in the corner of the drowsy bean, in the November light that Maureen had adjusted a fraction, and he was not alone. He has been teaching high school English for 19 years. He told me once. I interviewed him, small world. He's in volume 3 now. Everyone is in volume 3 now. Volume 3 is becoming the book I always meant to write. He told me that the thing nobody tells you about teaching is that it happens mostly in November, not literally. He meant it differently. He said, summer is easy, September is enthusiasm, October is momentum. But November, he said, is when the students find out if they trust you. When the romance of a new year has worn off and it's just the work, the ordinary day, the lesson on a Tuesday that doesn't feel remarkable to anyone in the room, and might not be remarkable, but which is, he searched for the word load-bearing. He said, the Tuesdays in November are load-bearing. I wrote that down. The pier, 8:15. The November pier, the rain. This is different from all the other piers we've visited. The rain on the boards, the wind. The lake doing something that is not aggressive, but is very large and very present and entirely unconcerned with the weather or with Doug or with any of us. Doug Parkinson walked to the pier tonight in the rain. His neighbor, Mrs. Vasiliev, was not out this evening to express her concerns. She has learned over 11 years that expressing concerns about Doug's pier walk during inclement weather is a conversation with a fixed outcome, and she has conserved her energy for other things. Doug was wearing his proper rain gear, not the jacket he wore to the storm pier in July, which was, in retrospect, insufficient, the proper rain gear. The waterproof jacket, the hood, the boots that are technically sailing boots, bought 19 years ago on a trip to Kingston, and which he has never used on a sailing vessel, but which do the job he has repurposed them for. He walked to the pier. The pier in November rain is a particular experience. The boards are wet, the railing is wet, the spray from the lake meets the rain from above, and the result is a general wetness that is total and non-negotiable. Doug is prepared for this. He is prepared for everything the pier has offered in 11 years. He walked to the end. Doug, rain on the recording, wind, but his voice is steady, the notebook open under the cover of his jacket, the pencil moving.
Tuesday, November, 8:18.
He pauses, longer than usual, the kind that is not hesitation, but is something closer to respect.
November Lake. Color, the November color. I've been giving this color a 4 for several years. 4 is right. It's not a failure. 4 isn't a failure. 4 is just what November does. The blue-green is gone. The gray is complete. The surface tonight is the color of pewter, or of old sky, or of something that has decided it is not trying to be beautiful, and in doing so has become something else. Something more than beautiful. Something true. I'm going to change the November color rating. I've been giving November color a 4 because I've been comparing it to the summer color, to the July blue-green, to the 10. That's wrong. That's been wrong. It's a different color. It shouldn't be measured against summer. It should be measured against itself. The November color measured against itself is a...
He looks at the lake in the rain, the pewter, the old sky, the thing that has stopped trying.
7. Real waves, 2 feet, white caps. The lake is doing its November thing. Not a storm, nothing dramatic. Just the steady work of a large body of water in a season that asks it to be large. Smell.
He breathes, a long breath, the rain in it, the lake in it, the November in it.
8. 8 for smell.
He says it with the gravity of someone who has been wrong about November color for years, and is now paying the November smell its full due.
The November smell is, it's the bottom of the lake. That's what it is. In summer, you smell the warm surface. In May, you smell the transition. In August, you smell the lake being generous. In November, you smell the bottom of the lake. The cold, deep, ancient part. 10,000 years of it. The glacier and the time and the depth that doesn't know what season it is because it's too far down to care. 8 for smell. I've been giving it a 5. I've been wrong about November. November is not the diminished version of the lake. November is the honest version. When did I know this? I've known this overall. The November lake. Tonight. 7. I said I'd never give a 5 below again after 2 years ago. And I meant it. But I meant it about the wrong thing. I was thinking about the number. The number was never the point. The point was the accuracy, the honesty of it. 7 is right for tonight, not 5, not the 4 I would have given a year ago. 7, because I've been wrong about November and I'm correcting the record.
Doug closes the notebook and stands in the rain at the end of the pier and looks at the lake, the pewter color, the 7, the smell of the bottom, the 8, quietly to the lake in the rain.
I've been undercounting you. I'm sorry about that. The lake, very large, does not respond. It doesn't need to. It has been 7 all along.
He stays for 31 minutes in the rain at the end of the pier. Looking at the lake, he has been undercounting. When he walks back up the pier, he stops at the bench. He always stops at the bench now. He does not always sit, but he always stops. Tonight he sits in the rain for a moment. The rain on the plaque. Nothing worth noticing happens only once. He reads it. He has read it every time. He will read it every time. This is where we pay attention. He was wrong about November color for several years. He is correcting the record. He sits in the rain on the bench for 3 minutes and thinks about what else he might be undercounting and finds, on reflection, not much. But the question is a good one. He'll keep asking it. Then he goes home. He makes tea. He opens the notebook. He goes back through every November entry he's ever made, and he changes the color ratings, all of them. 4 becomes 7 across the years in careful pencil. It takes 40 minutes. He makes a second cup of tea. He feels when he's done that the record is cleaner, more accurate, more like what actually happened. This is what integrity looks like when it's working quietly. The dispatch station. Late, 11 o'clock. But we're going somewhere first. We're going outside earlier in the evening to a specific place. Nick Petrov finished his shift at 6 this morning. He walked home, as he always does, through the November dark. It's dark at 6 in November. The gray pre-dawn still an hour off, the streetlights still on, the town asleep or nearly. He has been doing this walk for 16 months. He knows it the way you know something you've done every day for 16 months, which is to say, completely without thinking in his body as much as his mind. He turned left on Lakeview, as he always does. He passed the gap in the buildings where the waterfront path runs. He stopped. This is not unusual. He often stops here to check the lake by sound, to get a reading before he goes home to sleep. But tonight he didn't stop at the gap. He walked down the path. To the bench. It was dark. The lamp above it was on, the lamplight on the wet path, the rain that had been falling since midnight. He stood in front of the bench and looked at it, the plaque, wet, catching the light. He sat down. He has sat on the bench before, at the unveiling in May, a few times in summer. Once with his mother, the evening after the pier, when they walked back along the path and she stopped at the bench without his prompting and sat down and read the plaque twice, but he has never sat on the bench alone. In the November dark, at 6 in the morning, at the end of a shift, he sat for a while. Nothing happened. The rain fell. The lake made its November sounds. The town held its pre-dawn quiet. He sat. He didn't take out his phone. He didn't think about anything in particular. He just sat. On the bench, in the rain, in the dark, and after a while, he told me this. This is his account, not my inference. After a while, something settled. Not a thought. Not an idea. Just a settling. The way a room settles when you stop moving through it. The way a town settles at 6 in the morning when the night shift is over and the day shift hasn't begun, and the world is in between things. He sat in the in-between. For 12 minutes he checked the time when he stood up. 12 minutes. Then he walked home. He slept until 2. When he woke up he made coffee. Maureen's beans, the good ones, and he sat at his desk and he opened the log. The log. 2 o'clock in the afternoon, the November light already thinking about going. His voice has a quality to it tonight that is hard to name. Something like the November lake, actually. The honest version. The version that has stopped trying to be summer and has found what it actually is.
Tuesday, November 18th. Shift was quiet. cold front moving through from the northwest. The lake was doing something all night. I could hear it from the station. Big sounds, not a storm. Just the November lake being what it is. Unit 14 came in at 241, earlier than usual. I think the barometric pressure. I logged it, dispatched, went back to my book. I sat on the bench this morning. 6:03 a.m. in the rain. I want to try to write about this because I think it's worth writing about. And because the log is where I write things that are worth writing about. And because if Gerald is writing the history of the ordinary evenings, then I want the log to be accurate. I sat on the bench in the rain and nothing happened. It was enough. That's the thing. It was enough. 12 minutes on a wet bench at 6 in the morning in November. Nothing remarkable, nobody there. The lake making its large November sounds. The lamplight on the wet plaque, and it was complete. That's the word. It felt complete. I've been thinking about this all day, about what complete means, about when something is enough. When I was in Toronto, I was always adding. Always the next thing, the next project, the next version of the plan. More, better, faster. The velocity was the point, I thought, because velocity felt like progress, and progress felt like arrival, and arrival felt like, I don't know, like the thing I was supposed to be doing. I never arrived. You can't arrive at velocity. It doesn't have a destination. Snorewood has a destination. Or rather, Snorewood is the destination. Right here. This place. This bench, these people, this lake, this log. I'm not saying I'm done. I'm not saying nothing will change or should change. The deck happened. The Tuesday 8 o'clock happened. The bench happened. Things are still becoming. That's fine. That's good. I'm saying the becoming is happening in a place that is already enough. That was already complete before I got here, and I am in it now. I am part of the completion. 12 minutes on a bench in the rain. Nothing worth noticing happens only once. The November lake tonight, by sound, large, honest, something I've been undercounting. Same as me, maybe. Same as me.
The official log now, the nightly one. The dispatch station, 11 o'clock. Nick at his desk. The November lake outside, the large honest sounds of it. The log open. A book beside it.
Tuesday. November 18th, 11:04 p.m. Wind northwest. Strong lake sounds. 7. November 7. Corrected. I talked to Doug today. He told me he'd changed the November color ratings. Gone back through all the years, corrected them to 7. I said, what were they before? He said, 4, because he was comparing to summer. I said, I do that too. He said, most people do. Doug said the lake doesn't compare to summer. The lake just is what it is. We stood there for a bit. Then Doug said, the November smell is an 8. Has been all along. I was giving it a 5, the bottom of the lake. You can smell the bottom in November. I know that smell. I just didn't have a number for it. It's an 8. 8. The November smells is an 8.
Nick writes this in the log. Then he looks out the window at the November dark. Town, sleeping mostly, a few lights. The lake, not sleeping. The lake doesn't sleep, the lake is just the lake. Nick picks up his book. Then he puts it down, then takes out the log again and writes one more thing.
My mother called tonight before the shift. She said she's been keeping the log for 3 months and hasn't missed an evening. I asked how it was. She gave November a 7 tonight. I asked her what was she giving it before. She said she was comparing to summer. I didn't say anything for a moment. Then I said, Doug corrected all his November ratings today. He was doing the same thing. She said, well, I think we're right. November is a 7. Doug says November color is a 7, but the smell is an 8. The smell is definitely an 8. 7 for November. 8 for the smell of the bottom.
The drowsy bean. Close to 9, the last of the evening. Maureen turning the sign, the last customer gone, the particular piece of the room settling. She pours her decaf, the good cup. She sits at the window table, the rain on the glass. Her street, Maureen sits at the window. The rain has been going since noon and is going still, the steady November kind. The kind that is not dramatic and is not stopping. The street is quiet. No dog. No Terry with his phone. Even the raccoon, who she suspects is a different raccoon now, from the one she started watching years ago, but whom she has named Harold II in her mind and treats with the same mild affection, is not out tonight. Sensibly, she wraps both hands around the wide ceramic cup. She looks at the menu board, her handwriting, the chamomile latte. For the feeling of being indoors when it's cold outside, the May drink gone for now, returning in spring, and the storm drink, still not on the board. She's decided the storm drink will never be on the board. The storm drink is for specific people on specific evenings, and putting it on the board would make it a product when it is in fact a conversation. She looks at the painting, the lake painting that has been for sale for 9 years. She has made a decision about the painting. She made it in October, and she has not yet acted on it because she wanted to sit with it through October and see if it held. It has held. She is going to take it off sale. Not sell it, remove it from sale. Remove the small card in the corner that says the price. Keep it on the wall where it has been for 9 years, where she has looked at it every day for 9 years while making coffee, and where she will continue to look at it. It is not for sale. It was never really for sale. She knows this now. She has known it for a while, if she's honest. Tomorrow morning she'll take the card down. Tonight she looks at the painting and the rain on the window and the street, and she holds her cup. Maureen to the room, to the painting, to nobody, to 22 years.
Right then. Good night.
Maureen says it. The way she says good night when she means it for the room, not for a person. For the bean itself, the chairs and the corner and the light she has adjusted a fraction every October for 22 years.
Good night.
She sits for a while longer, the rain, her street, the warmth she has made and maintained and kept exactly itself for 22 years. Then, so quietly, it is almost just a breath.
Good.
The rain on all the windows of Snorewood. The November dark complete, the town held inside it. Bev in the chair with Gilead, the evening she has been waiting for since October. Doug at his table, the corrected notebook, the second cup of tea, the record made accurate, Priya at home, the good dinner, the kids somewhere nearby, the shin pads found or not found, the 11 students and the waiting list, and the deck that will open in May. Terry Bouchard reading the new proposal for the subcommittee. An idea Phil had, quietly, a good one, something for the spring. Making notes in his careful way. The chamomile tea, the 1 minute 50, the bench in the world. Phil, somewhere, becoming someone, not knowing yet. Danny in her car, driving to wherever she is staying. Franklin, in his apartment, having been not alone this evening, having sat in Maureen's corner with a latte he didn't pay for. On a Tuesday in November, because the Tuesdays in November are load-bearing, and Maureen knows this and adjusts the lights a fraction and keeps the warmth sufficient. Vera Petrov, 3 towns east. In the log she started in September, giving November a 7, giving the smell an 8, correcting the record, getting it right. Nick at his desk, the book open, the November lake making its large honest sounds. Unit 14 expected at 2:41. The bench on the waterfront path in the rain. The lamplight on the wet plaque. The town breathing. The lake not sleeping. Very quiet tonight. Barely there. More space than notes. Just enough to know it's there. And then just the rain. And then just the lake. And then just Snorewood, November. The honest version, the 7. The lake was a 7 tonight, the November 7. Doug was undercounting. He's corrected the record. The November smell is an 8, the bottom of the lake, 10,000 years of it. Bev is reading Gilead on the evening she's been waiting for since October. Maureen is taking the painting off sale. It was never for sale. Nick sat on the bench in the rain at 6 in the morning, and nothing happened, and it was complete. Nothing worth noticing happens only once. The November lake happened every November. Doug was giving it a 4. The November lake was a 7 all along. And now in Snorewood, the lights are low, the streets are quiet, and the lake has gone still. Good night.